So ain't nobody talking about no defamations.
Yeah, we gonna get to that.
We don't want nobody talking about no defamation.
She in Africa.
Allegedly, the gold shoe bitch, she was hired to target me. And, you know, when I started the women's group WCW meeting, we opened up the Zoom room every Wednesday for women to come. And we were building it little by little, piece by piece. I found out, it took me about a month and a half to figure it out, but 3 of the women in the group all worked for Tasha K.
Oh, damn.
One of the women who had positioned herself to be my right-hand woman to help me build it, I mean, this bitch actually came to my house. She was I invited her to my house. So Tasha K had somebody in my fucking home, amongst my family. It wasn't until after she came by, because we were having a barbecue that day, and just out of nowhere, even though she lived in Alabama, she just happened to be in Dallas for the weekend meeting her boyfriend, who she never saw again after that. And just happened to be not that far away. And I was wondering if we could get together and meet. Well, I'm having a barbecue at the house. Oh, I didn't know that, but bitch, I posted about it and said I was. I know your notifications is on. But it's cool. Come on. The family's here. We just barbecuing, smoking, eating, spending time. Sure. I see you every Wednesday on Zoom. Come on. What, somebody tried to break into the house, what was it, honey, about a week after that, maybe a little less?
Yep. Oh, wow.
And then somebody faking to be an insurance agent who had an appointment with someone in the house, even though they had the wrong name, asked for their credentials, didn't have any credentials. Then we had to call the police to document it, and yada, 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 so on and so forth. When them SAs was following me while I was walking the dog, that was the day. They was slow creeping up the street.
Oh, no.
And they didn't realize, they were so busy following me that they didn't realize that my husband was sitting in the car. He didn't have it turned on. He was sitting in the car and he was watching them. And then when I walked up, he turned the car on. He was like, these motherfuckers have been following you up the street, slow creeping. The second that I did that, I turned around and looked at them, and these niggas start taking off. So I go jump into the car. We start following them. We got out to the main thoroughfare, and then that was that. They were gone, and I'm like, okay, we not safe.
Right.
Got it. So then we started figuring out, you know, are we gonna stay in the city or are we gonna move around? And then we had a house guest around that time who we found out, family friend who had flown down from Philadelphia to spend some time, found out that he was informing on us, giving information to certain people about how we live, what we're doing, you know, what's happening in the house, who we're talking to, if anybody's coming by. When we found that out, that shit kind of fucked me up. Because this is somebody that I revered, you know what I mean, like an uncle. And then we had to put his ass on a plane, get him the fuck up out of here. And then we were like, you know what, let's just shut down the house and let's figure out what we're gonna do. And then right before we left town to head west, we went out to Arizona for a while with friends. Yeah, and you know, we needed to spend some time with the people that were in my life to figure out, because there's been a lot of sifting through. I got 25, 30-year relationships, you know what I mean, with people in this industry, and I don't know who the fuck I can trust anymore. So we decided to go out west, but right before we left, we had stopped up at Clyde Warren Park because we needed to walk the puppy. He was still a puppy. So I'm walking him around Clyde Warren Park because we're like, okay, we're gonna get on the road. We're gonna beat it through here. We'll be in New Mexico by nightfall. So I'm walking the dog. I just gotten out the car. He was still in the car at the time. And car pulls up behind us to park. Now this is like 12:30 at night. So it's like, okay, maybe they're pulling aside too, just like we are, kind of. But then it was like this, they were at the top of the block, and then they started inching down closer and closer and closer towards the car. Little by little, like just creeping up. And husband says, get in the car. And I'm like, all right. So I pick up the dog. We get in the car. And then they start pulling up even tighter. I'm like, fuck it, let's move. You know what I mean? We had a burner in the car. But if it's going to go down like this, nigga, we about to have some fucking fun. So we take off from there, pull, they follow us. And I'm like, are we paranoid? Are we too high? You know what, I'm like, fuck it. Let's figure out what it's really fucking hitting for. So we pulling up to the red light. I said, this one's going to change, and then this one's going to change not long after it. Don't stop. Run the fucking light. So my husband takes off. They follow us. First red light. They continue to follow us. Second red light. The safety off.
Oh, it's about to go down. Yeah.
So, boom, we going. He's like, I'm like, pull up to Fuel City. I want cameras and I want lights. If motherfuckers is going to see us busting shots, that shit's going to be documented. So, boom, we go. They following us. Whoop, peel off. Next thing you know, we pull off, turn the car around. We sitting there facing the street waiting for somebody to drive the fuck up. One car takes off, skids off, gets back on 35. The other one rolls right down Riverfront and both speeding off. It wasn't one car, it was two cars. There was one that came to approach us. There was another one there for the ambush. They weren't expecting us to start running lights.
Damn.
I guarantee you, if we had sat at that light, that's when that other car would have came up.
Damn.
And it's business time. So we had luggage in the car. We were all packed up. Everything that we needed in the storage unit was in the storage unit. We headed west. We have friends out there, and we have friends out there that have anger problems just like me. So it worked. We were there until we weren't. And, you know, it was kind of hard because you go viral, so it makes it a little bit harder to hide in plain sight. So, of course, no matter what state we popped up, it's Jaguar.
I'm sure we were.
Right.
What's up, homie?
But during that time, you while you were on the road, you were doing. I seen you doing a lot of interviews with Stormy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
actually, that was right before we left.
Got you.
Storm happened before we left. When we had to leave was when we did the Tasha K interview.
Got you.
And Storm wasn't supposed to get what he got.
Right.
But I gave it to him.
Right.
See, Tasha wanted him to fluff me up. She was supposed to get the big interview. But I gave it to him. I knew what I was doing. Because I wanted to see what the fuck she was really all about.